Hi, my name's Christy Jensen and I'm 20.
Hi, my name's Michael Deary and I'm 15.
Hi, my name's Ambrose Deary and I'm 12.
Hi, my name is Patrick Riley and I'm 10.
Hi, my name's Anya Riley and I'm 11.
Hi, my name's Catherine Burns and I'm 17.
And we are the McHale Academy of Irish Dance.
It wasn't by choice. Wasn't by choice at all, to be honest. It was because my father originates from Castlebar, County Mayo, which is the west coast of Ireland. My mother originates from Nuneaton, but Mum's father was also from County Mayo in a place called Westport. So Mum ended up meeting Dad when she was over on holidays in County Mayo, and then they moved back to England and then moved back to Ireland again, had my brother, moved back to England and then had me then later on. So Dad actually had to do dancing as part of his school curriculum when he was a child. Back in them days it was mandatory. That was part of the whole upbringing. The Gaelic language and the Irish dancing was key. I don't think it is as key anymore, I'm not too sure. And Mum always says that I was dancing before I was born. Whenever she would be taking Darren into a class, I would always be kicking and jumping around inside her tummy. So that was that. And then I was born, and then I was dragged into dancing classes, and I just used to run around, jump around, that was it. I started out. And then I went into competitions, used to love it. There was actually a point where I didn't really like it. To be honest, growing up in school was kind of tough. I was at school in Nuneaton. Irish dancing wasn't a big thing in Nuneaton, hence why I was coming over to Coventry for lessons. When I used to come to classes in Coventry, there used to be about 30 or 40 lads. It was incredible. And we'd get up and do one dance. As soon as we're finished, we'd go out to the car park and play football. Then we'd go in and change our shoes and carry on like that. So that was cool. So Darren was also dancing, which led me to dance. Got to maybe about 10 or 11 and then started to lose a bit of interest. Had loads of friends in the class and then went to the World Championships and won the World Championships. And that was when I started like really getting a buzz for it again and really being determined to take it the step forward and see what else actually can come out of it. It wasn't always going to a social club in Coventry. So actually when I'd won my 4th world title, I had a phone call from Riverdance. Riverdance called me up and then I went over to Dublin, didn't audition and just literally went on the road touring the world. So it was great to be able to say that I've done something that I've lived and breathed, which was all about the Irish dancing, and the Irish dancing just took me around the world. I was getting paid to do something that I loved and enjoyed, so it didn't seem like a job because it was my love. That was exactly what it was, and it still is today. I mean, I'm still back in the social clubs now in Coventry, but like next week I'm going off to the United States with the kids. Shoulders back, get them toes pointed, pull up to your bum now, lift up, up. Now pull up to your bum, up, toes down. Lift and cross. Pull up, cross over. Shoulders back. Pull up. Coventry used to have, many moons ago, it used to have its own Coventry Irish Week. Which used to take place in the summer. I think it was around August time. There was a great committee that used to organise it. This was back when I was 7 or 8, and I still remember it. And everybody used to come together, and we'd be in the, I think it's the central precinct. It's where Lady Godiva comes out the clock, and it used to be under the canopy that was there. I don't think it's there anymore, is it? No. So there used to be a night in the week, a Wednesday night, and they used to call it the meeting at the crossroads, which used to be a thing back in Ireland many moons ago. And myself and my brother were always the ones that were invited to dance at this display of Irish culture on the Wednesday evening, and it was all about dancing on the door. So back in the day when the dance masters, as they're called, would meet at a crossroads in Ireland. They would all meet up at a crossroads in whatever town or village they were in, and they would all have a dance-off. But back at the house, they would always take their wooden door off the hinge to practice on this wooden door. So actually, me and Darren, my brother, we reenacted this situation every Wednesday night in the middle of August, I think it was, and for so many years. And then unfortunately, there was funding pulled for the Irish Week. They used to bring in acts from Ireland, singers. Sharon Shannon used to come over to do the finishing programme. Daniel O'Donnell used to come over. The funding was pulled, and that was the end of the Irish Week, unfortunately. So now we just have to do what we can to try and keep the flame going. Yeah. Change it every 16 bars or something. Come forward, so you're not just in a straight line. Captain, you come forward. Ambrose, forward. Michael, forward. Yeah. I'm very like my dancing teacher, very much alike. A lot of people tell me that the way when I go to competitions and they see me around with the children and all this, that and the other, they say that I very much remind them of how Danny was, my old teacher, Danny Doherty, years ago. I'd like to think I am strict, but I mean, I find it very hard today. Society changes. There's only so many things that you can say in a class without it being offensive. I mean, I was never spoke badly to at all. There would have been times where I would have been shouted at or anything like that, and do you know what? I have nothing but respect for my old teacher. It's kept me on the straight and narrow in life, and I wouldn't even dread to think of children that were growing up back then, what they were doing. I wasn't out on the street corner. There was no drugs involved in my life, and it was just all about congregating, dancing. That was my life. There is fierce competition within the class. There may be competitions where there are girls that are in the same age group, and one may think they're as good as the other, but they're actually not, and they don't actually take it when I'm giving criticism as to what to work on. There are certain children, not just in this class, I mean it's everywhere, children don't take to criticism as well as they should do. And I was in no way, there was no back chatting when I was dancing, there was no rolling of my eyes. When my teacher told me to do something, I went and done it, that was it. There was no questions, no ifs, no buts, that was it. But today's society, there's a lot of questions, shrugging the shoulders, muttering under the breath. That's just the way society changes. That's not necessarily dependent from the parents. It's, you know, and I think it's the same with school teachers. I think school teachers aren't as strict as what they were because they're actually not allowed to be as strict as what they were. Back in the day, way before my time, the cane was involved. They can't use that now. And I just think children are more, what's the word? That they're not, then children aren't afraid of challenging. They're not afraid of challenging their elders at all, which is a shame because there's that lack of respect. Not all the time. I mean, I do often come down to the children's level just to make them feel warmed and make them feel that I'm not always the bad person that's always screaming and shouting. There is also not necessarily a childish side to me, but I know what it's like to be a child. But they're forgetting that I've done all this throughout my years. How did it affect me? It didn't affect me one bit. And I'd like to think that my children that I'm teaching right now can grow up and say, yeah, I'd like to thank Declan for all this, that and the other. And I mean, there's some kids that would turn around and say, oh God, thank God I'm finished with him. But it is what it is, yeah.
Yeah, so this will be my 10th World Championships this year. Every year they're in a different place, usually in either North America or in Europe, like Ireland, Scotland and England. I've been dancing for about 13 years now. So coming to the end of my competing career, so hopefully I can top it off with a good performance this year. So how many classes a week do you guys come to?
I've had 7 for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
every day. Normally, like a normal class is probably 4 times a week, but the wild's like 7.
I'm different because I live in Liverpool, so I come to 1 class a week, and then other than that it's just training at home, either in my kitchen or in a dance studio, just wherever I can find space.
The boys wear suits.
Yeah, either a suit jacket or a waistcoat. Very rarely you'll see a boy wear a kilt on stage, but that doesn't happen very often at all. Other than that, it's just black trousers, and I wear a white shirt and a bow tie, and then like a burgundy jacket. What do you wear?
Trousers, black trousers, white shirt with an orange tie, and then a blue jacket.
I wear a blue checked jacket, black trousers, white shirt and a red tie.
I wear a white shirt, black trousers, blue and red dicky bow, and a blue jacket. The girls wear dresses, so they get them made like how they want them and what colours they want, what suits them. And they get like, there's gemmed and it's like all sparkly and heavy.
Yeah, and then girls also wear wigs as well, instead of like curling your hair. And lots of makeup and fake tan.
Yeah, when you get to the age of 10 you have to wear makeup.